Hi everybody, it's Sally from Sally Stampers. Hope you're okay today. Thank you for joining me. And today, I know there's lots of them out there, but I'm bringing you an Eclipse card. This is actually the first time I've had a go at making one, and I'm really quite pleased with the results. Each one is different in its own way. So this one, obviously I used Beautiful You, and this one says Mum on it, which I'm hoping you can see, but maybe the red isn't the right colour in the way that I stamped the figures. Because obviously Mum has 3 letters, maybe it would have been better if there was 4 figures maybe. But as I say, it was my first play, but I'm quite pleased with the result of that one. The second one I thought is really good that you can do a child's name, and as usual I always go with my son's name just because it's an easy one to do. So this one again I just stamped using No Bones About It, and just used to vary in different colours of green, and used that one, so I was really chuffed with that one as well. I think that looks great. But this one probably has to be my favourite. A friend recently asked me for a baby card for a boy, and I didn't really know what to do, and I sort of struggled a little bit, and anyway I finally came up with one that I was fairly happy with, and I think actually it had Baby Bear on it, and afterwards I thought, oh, I should have done one of these because that would have been great. So anyway, so I'm going to recreate this one today, but I'm going to be doing the pink version for a little girl, which will be powder pink. This one is in Soft Sky, and as I say, this one is powder pink. I've used the Soft Sky Classic Weave ribbon on this one, and obviously the Soft Sky, which are the Subtles embellishments on this one. As I'm using powder pink, I will be using the lovely finely woven ribbon for this one, obviously again just because it coordinates with the card, but unfortunately we don't have the in colour Enamel Shapes, so I will just be using Pink Pirouette, which obviously isn't a million miles away from this, so I shall be using that one. So really it's just a really simple card, this is, that as long as you've got the large letter framelets, you can make any card with anybody's name and anything on it really. I'm going to warn you, for some reason I have issues with my tripod and my legs just keep slipping further and further apart, so if you start doing a nosedive I'll have to quickly sort it out, but hopefully I'll be able to do the video before it starts sliding. I think it's because I cleaned my desk, and obviously whatever I used to clean it with has made it a bit slipperier as opposed to it usually being a bit, I don't know, probably not as slippy, who knows, but anyway. So if anybody's had Baby Bear before, you'll know that this is a 3-step stamping, which obviously gives that great 3D effect, if you like, of the bear with all these different bits of colours on. So when you get your photopolymer stamps, firstly you'll notice that you get 2 sheets. So, oh, my hairs are all falling out everywhere. So you have sheet 1 and sheet 2, and then next to each bear you will get numbers. So hopefully you can see there I've got a 3 and a 2 here, and obviously a 1 there. So me being me, I always work back to front with stuff. It's just the way that I work things. I'm just crazy like that, I guess. So I start off with number 3. I don't know why I do it backwards, just the way I am. My E block, because you need a good size block. So starting with the 3rd one, you start with your darkest, which is Soft Suede. And obviously when you come to position it, if you're wanting to put a ribbon underneath, make sure you push that bear up a fraction, otherwise he's going to cut his legs off with the ribbon. So number 3 bear, your darkest colour. Obviously likewise, if you start with number 1, you're going to start with your lightest colour. So I've got Soft Suede here and number 3 bear, and just slightly up a fraction, give him a stamp. Now I forgot to use my stamping mist on my stamping scrub, so I'll just quickly give that a spray, because obviously I need this block to do the others. So that's that one cleaned. So that's number 3 done. And that's Soft Suede done. So then I need number 2 and the mid colour, which I'm using Crumb Cake. There are varying colours. If you have a look on Pinterest or even on YouTube, there are varying colours of the bear that you can use, and some of them are really cute. But obviously when you're doing this, I would suggest that you line up this bottom part here, because that's probably the easiest part to line up. And then you just stamp over the top. Give that one a clean. So that's number 2 done. And then obviously the last one for me is number 1. So it's my dog choking on a chew. I have to bribe them, you see, to keep them quiet while I do my filming. And so I'm using Sahara Sand as my last one. Obviously kids are back at school, husband's at work, and so I have to bribe my dogs with treats to keep them quiet while I do my filming. It doesn't always work, as you all know, but occasionally it does. And then this is my last one going on top, and this is where you'll see obviously the full effect of the bear, which I think is really cute. So I'm just going to pop this away, put my bear away, and even though this block is too big, I'm just going to grab my sentiment out, which says welcome to the world, just while I'm here, ready for the inside of my card. So next up, obviously you need your big shot. Now I think for this one you could put boy or girl or baby. I think it doesn't really matter. I'm going to go for baby just because that's what I've done on all the others, and it'll be easier for me to show you. So I've got obviously my B and A. So I'm starting over here on the bear, and this is really the important part, is to make sure that they're lined up. And make sure that you've got equal spacing, because obviously this B needs to come in here, and then we need to pop in the Y, and you don't want to be too close to the edge. So make sure your B is quite a way over and your A is fairly close. And then we're just going to obviously put the top of our sandwich, and I'm just using the normal magnetic platform. Just run it through the big shot, and then as you can see there's my B and my A. And what I'm just going to show you very quickly is when I do these, obviously these bits pop out and you would normally throw them, but obviously you mustn't throw them for this one because you do need them. So I line them up so that I know which one was top and bottom, and then just pop my letters out and put them next to it. Likewise with the A, you're going to need that little tiny triangle there, so I just pop that one out, and likewise then just grab my letter, put it next to it. So I just need to come back with the B and the Y, so just make sure you can see this. So I obviously now need to line up the B and the Y. And you see now what I mean about how you have to be really careful, because that's really close to the edge now. It's okay, it's ample room, but obviously if you come too far across, it's not going to fit. So that's my B and my Y, which you just hold there, run it through, and then, so my Y's stuck. Let's just pull, I just want to take all these out so that I can move the big shot and you can see then. So let's move those out. Ouch, trapped my finger under my big shot. So there's my Y, and then my B again, you've got those two white centres of the B there, and then your letter. So I'm just going to pop these away because otherwise I'll end up losing them, which I don't want to be doing. So just pop those out of the way. So that's all great, we've got all that done. So now you need to stick this onto the base of your card. I'm just using normal snail, nothing different. So I'm just gonna, no I'm not, nearly forgot, I need to put my ribbon on. Nearly forgot. So this is when you add your ribbon. So just grab my scissors and give that a trim, and then as I do with all of my ribbons, I add my tear and tape just onto the back, trying to keep it straight so that it doesn't go all wonky. There we go. So that's my tear and tape on my ribbon. Ouch! I've just forgotten forgot to lower my chair. I'd forgotten why I was cricking my neck around my tripod. I always have to lower my chair a fraction just so that I can fit under it without feeling uncomfortable. Right, so tear and tape on my ribbon, and then obviously I just pop this across the bottom. And now you can see what I meant about keeping bare clear from the bottom. And now I can do my snail, which just goes over the top of my ribbon. And then I add some to the sides. It's just enough gap there for me to run it across the top. And then just because these bits obviously haven't got much to hold them, I add a little bit more in between the letters. And then we simply pop this on our card base. So as I say, I've gone with powder pink. Just pop that one on, press it down. And then we come to sticking our letters on. Now, you can use the foam adhesive strips. They're perfect to use, and they may give you a little more height as well because they're a little bit deeper. But I like to save my bits off my dimensionals. So when you come to finish your sheet of dimensionals, you've got these borders, and to me that's a waste. So I cut them into the 4 strips, and I keep them in a plastic bag for this sort of occasion. So I know from the previous cards I've made that I will need at least 2 of these and potentially 1 of those. Let's move them out of the way now. Because I'm a bit OCD, I have some adhesive scissors. I've got this little bit of washi on. They stick. If you use tear and tape, obviously it is tear, so you can tear it, but I generally cut it, even though I didn't today. But I generally cut it, and then my scissors get stuck together, and then it won't cut ribbon nicely or paper. So I have two pairs, one for ribbon and paper and one for adhesives. So with this one, which is, let's have a look, which is these side bits here, because I just simply cut it like that and then go all the way up and across at the corner so that I do them in angles. And I simply cut this one, not all the way through because otherwise it becomes a bit fiddly, but I just cut all these little triangles to 2s because that's what I'll need. So I'm going to start with my Y, and you'll see why. And that wasn't intended there. So you see that will fit nicely there, and then another 2 that just fits nicely there. So that's my Y. My white B, again, we stick 2 there and a 2, oops, just up there. Then my A, I can pick it up. This one's got 2.5, but that's fine. Oops. And I always try and keep the straight edge along the straight edge. Granted, it doesn't matter with the A, but it just gives you a straighter edge to work with. So I'm just going to cut these, just do 3 of those. And then I'm grabbing my other B, and I'm just going to put these ones on here. This bit obviously is a little bit time consuming, a little bit fiddly, but it is well worth it. And then you just cut the rest into singles. So I now want a single one to put on each curve of the B. So obviously that will be 4 that I'll need. So that's my B done. And this is my second B that will be done. And then I'm actually just going to use one just to put up the top of here because I don't need any more than that. So that's all great, but we have these pieces here that this is going to be too big to fit. It's just going to overlap. So what I usually do, and this is why I said I needed this one, And I'm not even going to throw that. That will go back in my bag for next time. So what I will do with this one, I'm just going to trim that bit. So yes, I am throwing that tiny bit away there. But these bits here are perfect. So I just cut those down. So first of all, we'll take this piece off. And you could try doing this with tweezers. I generally find that I can just about manage to do it with my nails. And then this one will just stick on the A. It's a little bit wonky. Now I'm quite happy with that. If you wanted to add another bit here, these thick ones you can always trim in half again. So you could use this half to go on the B there, and then the thin strip on the thinner parts. But that's how I utilise my dimensionals, because I don't like to waste. So those are our letters done now. So you just simply now go along and stick all these in place. So peel obviously all the backings off your dimensionals. And just to put them in place, it's not that hard. I literally just line. Oh, I told you that was going to go nosedive into my project. Sorry about that. Right, we'll try again. Bear with me just a moment, because everything seems to have moved completely. I don't know why that just went mad then. Let's try and rearrange this bit. Oh my goodness. I need someone to stand and hold my tripod. Right. Why is this not... the lock went on the leg. Right. Get a shimmy on now so that this doesn't slide again. Sorry about that. Right. So the B, you literally just tuck it in that corner and it will line up perfectly. So I'm going to be quick now because I don't want this tripod falling again. I'm going to have to look into this because I can't have this sliding every time. Right, again with the A, you just simply pop it in place. And then your B, same again, and then the same with your Y. So again, just pop that corner in. And last but not least, my Y. Oops, well that wasn't very clever. So just stick my Y in place. I might have to put a little embellishment or something on that bit because it just ripped. Okay, so next up is, I can see that slipping again. Next up is putting the middle bits back in. So if you recall, we have our two B's, the A and the two B's, and you simply get some snail. This is how I do it anyway, and I just give it a flick so that you get some snail on. Get your paper piercer and you just pop it into the gap and just press it down. And then you just do the same with all of the other pieces. My dog's sneezing now. So, oh, it's not my day, is it? Look, everything's going wrong. If you don't have a piercer, you can just simply drop it in the hole like that. If your paper piercer's not playing the game, as mine isn't. Just like my tripod isn't. So the last two, just my final pieces of my B. It's got some adhesive on there. And then the last one. And then you have your card, your Eclipse card. Now all I've got left to do is put a bow on. I'm watching these feet, watching the feet of my tripod, making sure that they don't go again. So just do my bow. Not my adhesive scissors. Cut my ribbon. And then I actually used 2 glue dots on this just because it's a slightly bigger bow. So just a couple of glue dots to stick on there. And last but not least, my Enamel Shapes, which I just pop on the top. Small or a large one? Small one. Which I just popped there. And that little mistake there, I think I'm just going to pop a star on each one. Just looks like they were meant to be there. Perfect. And there you have it, your Eclipse card for a baby. And then obviously you just fold and burnish that crease. And as I said, just pop in my sentiment in the middle with my powder pink ink. Just open it up there and just stamp it into the centre. And that's my Eclipse card made. And like I said, I think that is super cute for someone who's got a baby or just had a baby, or even maybe for a christening. I think that would be ideal. Sorry about the nosedive into my projects. I will sort this out so that it doesn't happen again. Hope you guys all have a great day and hope to see you all again soon.